friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to share with you the books that I got in January, also known as my January 2019 book haul. So the first couple books I'm going to show you, you've probably seen in other videos. So if you know what's coming, then you're ahead of the game. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the first 5 books all in one stack. And that is the Shatter Me series now, I guess. I got these books from my friend Penelope at Penelope Picks here on BookTube. She was kind enough to reach out to me. I think she was gonna like unhaul these at one time, but then she decided to keep them. And I like hardcover books because I think they stand up over the test of time better than paperbacks do. I do think I like reading paperbacks more though, but I got rid of my copies that I had of the paperbacks, and she sent me this full hardcover set. So she sent me the original cover of Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. She sent me the redone and beautiful cover of Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. Unravel Me by Tahereh Mafi. Ignite Me by Tahereh Mafi, which I have read these books already. And then she sent me her copy of Restore Me that is signed by the author, which I'm so excited about. And I have not read this one yet, so I need to get on that soon because I've already seen the cover for the next one, and I'm glad that they're keeping with the like eye theme and it's like white, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, so thank you so much again, Penelope, for sending me these copies, and I'm so excited to add them to my bookshelves. The next book that you have probably heard me talk about already is The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi, and this is a very layered story about fantasy. It's set in Paris. It has a little bit of, there's a lot of changes going on in Paris during this time, and there is a hunt for an artifact, like an ancient artifact, and it just seems like it's going to be like suspenseful and like fantasy, and like I'm just really looking forward to this one actually, because it has so many layers to the story that I'll really be interested in it. And plus the cover is so pretty, you guys. And yes, since this is from Uppercase Box, I do have a signed copy. Next book that I got is my book of the month book, and I picked The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I'm not sure how to say the last name, but I picked this up because it was kind of in the genre that I always pick from them, and this is about a seemingly idealistic couple, and one day the wife, she's like a perfect famous painter married to an in-demand fashion photographer. She lives in a grand house overlooking a park in one of London's most desirable areas, and then one evening her husband comes home late from work and she shoots him 5 times in the face, and then she goes silent. And it's trying to find out, the price of her art skyrockets, and she, the silent patient, is hidden away from the tabloids and spotlight at the Grove, a secure psychiatric unit in North London. So a criminal psychotherapist is captivated by her story, and he's trying to figure out like what really happened, piece it all together. It just sounds really cool, you guys. Okay, the last couple of books I don't think you've heard me talk about on my channel or any in my recent videos, so I'm gonna go ahead and share now. The first one is Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis, and I think it perfectly sums it up. It says how to live with passion and hustle, and how to give yourself grace without giving up. So this is all about just getting your life together and those myths that we place on ourselves, and like how to actually like get it together and make it happen. This is like almost like a how-to adult book. I've seen this all over social media, especially in the teacher community and stuff like that, so I just finally picked up a copy. I've been meaning to forever, and me and my husband went to the mall one day, went to Barnes & Noble, picked this up. Next book, I also got to kind of like better myself in 2019, and I actually picked this book up in one of my anthropology orders during Christmas time, and it was like on back order, so it took a while to come in. But it's I Want to Be Calm by Harriet Griffey. It's a small little handheld book. It is hardback though, and the cover is super pretty. It has this like Tiffany blue, black, and white color scheme. The end papers are like this palm, and then all of the illustrations inside fit with the theme of the Tiffany blue and black and white, and it just makes it like super aesthetic. But this book, you guys, has kind of transformed me already. I'm a very anxious person. I had a public panic attack a while back, and I deal with social anxiety, and I'm trying to learn how to just calm myself in the new year. I'm going back to yoga, and I'm reading this, and I'm taking hashtag 5 and 10 for me, which is a whole movement I'm doing over on my teacher channel. It's talking about giving myself 5 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night to kind of like process my thoughts and read things like this. And I have another magazine I'm reading as well. But basically, this little book just kind of teaches you the science behind how to be calm, the ways that we are not calm because of like we're the product of the society and the world as it is today, and how so it just has, it's like broken up into chapter. It's written super simply. It has a nice introduction. It talks about the treadmill living and the worry cycle, the body and the mind, managing emotions and mood. And then here's where I learned a lot about like the fight or flight, and I know you guys have probably heard a lot about that too, but this really delved deeper into that topic and gave me like specific things that our bodies do when our bodies automatically go into this fight or flight state of being, and we don't even realize it. And then it talks about breathing, and how most of us on a day-to-day basis, like obviously we're breathing without even thinking about it. It's just something our body does, or we wouldn't be here. But how deeper, calmer, longer breaths are healthier for us, and how when we do not take the time to take that big like chest belly inhale and the full exhale, how over time that it's almost like hyperventilating, and that throws you into that fight or flight syndrome. And it also talks about meditation, and I was also doing meditation at the beginning of the year. I think I did like 22 or 23 solid days of meditation. And then I think, let's see where I am right now. I'm on Calm for Health. So I also read Emergency Measures. But what I like about it is it gives you kind of the science behind the breath, the science behind the mind, and these 4 different sectors and how they work together. And just, it's kind of like a science lesson, but done in a very simple, easy to read way that you don't feel like you're sitting in a classroom. You feel like you're just trying to better yourself, and it all makes sense, and it's personally helping me a lot. So I highly recommend this. I got mine at Anthropology. It was back ordered at the time, but you could probably find it at other places too. So this is like a well-being little nonfiction book, and I love it. The last book that I'm going to talk to you about, I am currently reading it. I am on page 51. So taking it slow with this one because it's a lot of information to digest, and I'm kind of like writing in my quiet journal, and I'm just reading a little bit at a time. So the last book that I'm going to show you I got from the Fiction Guild, and it's Tell Her No Lies by Kelly Irvin. And this book is about a girl, Nina Fisher, who is basically abandoned by her mom, and her mother abandoned her to the streets, and Nina's really into photography. She loves taking pictures. She always has her camera with her. So she ends up being adopted by her uncle, and he adopted Nina and her sister, and he's a very wealthy man, a very proud man. He's a judge. He's well respected in the San Antonio area, and he ends up being murdered. And then Nina is the one that is accused of murdering him. So she, along with two of her male friends, I think one is like a childhood friend and one is a recent friend that also does photojournalism, they're trying to help her figure out who done it. So it combines romance and suspense, which romance and suspense are like my two faves. So I'm actually really interested in reading this one. So thank you to the Fiction Guild for sending it to me. I often get books from them, but I don't actually ever haul them on my channel, because if it's not something, because they just, you sign up for certain genres and then they just send you books, and most of the times they're not really books that I'm interested in, so I always like pass them along to friends, include them in my Depop unhauls, or take them to the book exchange. But this is one that I am really interested in, and I hope that I love it. So that concludes my January book haul. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if any of these sound good to you and if you are caught up on the Shatter Me series. But I'll see you guys in my next video. My next video, I really want to do like a spotlight on B.A. Paris and talk about the 3 books that I read from her. She also has a new novel coming out, I believe in like August. I could be wrong, but I think it's August. So I'll talk about that as well. But that's all for today's video. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.